What's up, guys? The Sunken Temple is out. With it, people have started buying consumables. You guessed it, you're looking at it right now. Prices went up by a very significant margin on some of these. I didn't stock up because I'm not much of a stocker in general, but prices went up. And since we're looking at Elixir of the Mongoose, which is no surprise, this is the strongest Elixir in the game for physical DPS. It's extremely good. 2% crit, absolutely bonkers good. Also very expensive because the materials are a little annoying to farm. So a lot of people, obviously, they went one step down or two steps down, and they got the Elixir Agility from the last phase. And we can see here that the market value for this one is 81 silver, and it has now been trending upwards for a while as the price was lower than this. And it's currently 1 gold 29, and we're selling these for about 60 silver profit is what it's saying. Gold thorn is a little bit above market value, but not too much. So we're actually paying about 60 silver to craft these right now. Absolutely fantastic to sell consumables right now. Or not right now when I'm talking, it's close to midnight. People aren't buying consumables at this time. They're buying when they're going into Sunken Temple. The other side of this coin is obviously the fact that why is this happening? Reason? Sunken Temple was harder. They've since nerfed it, but it is more Nomergon level, and most people are going to want to have some consumes. We'll see if it how easy it feels for average dad gamers, which is the main demographic of Season of Discovery. But people always care about doing more damage in raid, always. So we'll see if the difficulty stays or not. But either way, what happened was that the raid was very hard and people needed a lot of consumables to get through or have a chance of getting through the bosses, and they died a lot. So they needed to rebuy the consumes. And what that led to is just an absolutely hilarious increase in prices across the board for pretty much every consumable. And if you're not familiar with this website, jpworgen.com, it has pricing data for a Season of Discovery. And this is the price graph for the last week for Goldthorn, one of the materials for Elixir of Agility. And we can see that something funny happened on the 9th, 2 days ago. The price exploded. Absolutely exploded. It was already going up ever since the start of the phase. We can see here, it was like 10 silver before the start of the phase, and then it immediately went up to 3.5 and 35 silver, and it went to 77 silver, and it exploded all the way up. Auction house completely running dry up to 2 gold on my server. And now it's back down to 60 silver, so a more reasonable price, but absolutely wild movement. And we can obviously, if we go to the Elixir of Agility or some of the other consumables, we'll see some similar, like, absolutely wild peaks that some people were able to take advantage of. And we can take a look at some of the top level recipes, like Elixir of the Giants. This is the best strength one. Here we see more of a trend down. This one is one of the new ones. So this is like the first couple that were on the auction house, and it's stabilizing at a reasonably high price. Because once again, these used materials that are a little bit expensive, but we can see that it did spike up in the midweek. Now going forward, we can expect most of these consumables to normalize in price, to sort of find their level and generally stick to it. But what we also can expect is to see these types of peaks happening very consistently around raid resets and around the major raiding days. Because people generally raid on a couple of days. It's definitely a lot more popular to raid on the reset day, and it's very popular, at least in EU, to raid on Sundays. We see a lot of people going into raid on Sundays or going into raid on Wednesday in EU, Tuesday in NA. And that's when they buy their consumables. They log on, I forgot to buy Elixir of Giants ahead of time. I just have to grab them before raid and get going. And at that point, they don't have much time. So, okay, oh no, it's 20%, 30%, 40% more expensive. Well, I still want to do big dams, so I'm going to buy them. This happens on a very consistent weekly basis, and that's something that we're going to take advantage of. If you're selling consumables, you're going to want to buy materials, and now we're on a weekly reset, so it's the same day every week. It's always a Wednesday. So you're going to take advantage. You want to buy materials usually in the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, sometimes Monday, Tuesday. Can also be the cheapest ones. You just want to pay attention, and here this website is just absolutely a godsend. You can look at the pricing data, pricing trends, and see if this is cheaper than what it has typically been. And obviously, with prices changing as much as this, or what we saw with Goldthorn, just all over the place. Obviously, we can't rely on the Trade Skill Master market value, which is a 14-day average. Because that one's 80 silver, but right now the actual price is 60 silver. And once we get to next Wednesday, then the actual price might be back up to 1 gold, who knows, as the auction house runs dry and people buy out a ton of elixirs of agility again. So that's what we want to do. Now, obviously, if you just care about performance and getting your character as strong as possible without spending out the wazoo, I would suggest just skipping Mongoose. Just skip the most expensive new ones. And instead, you just go to Fellwood. Go to Fellwood and grab a Songflower instead. It requires a little bit of time, but it's a way stronger buff than Mongoose. World buffs are, in general, just much stronger buffs. So if you don't have limited time, just spend some of your time getting the Fellwood buff. That's going to be a lot better. And then you just downsize just to get some cheaper consumables. They're still going to provide a benefit. Yeah, it's going to be less than optimal, but it's not going to matter much now that the rate has been nerfed. Unless you like parsing, and if you do like parsing then and have a lot of gold, then obviously you're going to buy all the consumables you like. So yeah, now the main consumables, we've already gone through those in a video before the phase came out, but they're going to be lesser arcane elixir, greater arcane elixir. We're going to have the elixir of giants, elixir of the mongoose for melee. Those are the top ones, and then all the ones from the last phase as well are still relevant, because if it's too expensive, people just go a level down and get the cheaper one, and that's what we'll see throughout the phase as well. So yeah, guys, good luck. This alchemy market, as it has been over the last couple of days, we have seen people making thousands and thousands of gold, particularly those who stocked up ahead of time. I'm not one of those, because I'm well, you've seen the channel name. I'm the lazy gold maker. I've just been casually crafting some waylaid supply items and doing stuff on and gearing in my fairly limited playtime. So yeah, if you have the time, then I'd suggest getting a good bunch of items ready for either Sunday or Wednesday, and just snagging materials when they're cheap. Keep a supply up on the auction house. You can do volume, and you can do volume at very high profit margins right now. As we saw with the elixir of agility, we're looking at 60 silver profit per. Absolutely massive for this type of item. Yeah, it's pretty nice.